if you guys hadn't been watching, and there was a lot to watch, and it was actually pretty good. There was a few lawyers, jury's out on whether they'll get paid or not.
They will not get paid. I think that's foregone conclusion.
You can put this on your resume.
They did it for the exposure, It's just like most Instagram jobs. It's just like, well, look at how many followers you're getting.
Let me just say that whatever future job they're hoping to get, they're not going to get it.
No.
Because it was bad.
Yeah, even right-wing media was like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Right. But okay, so of the many things, it was so ridiculous that eventually, I don't know if y'all saw, there were minutes and minutes of montages of Democrats saying words like fight.
Madonna made it in. Madonna. The video.
Johnny Depp made it in.
Really?
It was a little strange.
Johnny Depp going has an actor ever killed a president before?
Literally. No, actually.
So drunk.
Yeah.
So just Hollywood, anyone who used the word fight, anyone.
That's the least offensive thing that has been uncovered that he has said.
I know.
Have you seen his text messages about Amber Heard? Holy fuck.
Yeah, no, exactly. It was
bad.
Really, Johnny Depp?
Yeah.
But okay, so there was all kinds of defenses that it was Trump's First Amendment right to incite violence, even though the First Amendment doesn't protect the incitement of violence, that BLM was worse. Of course, there was a giant sort of montage dedicated to the violence that happened over the summer. But I just want to play a few things and then Eugene, get your thoughts on the defense generally. Here's some choice moments that I highlighted for everybody.
The fact that the attacks were apparently premeditated, as alleged by the House managers, demonstrates the ludicrousness of the incitement allegation against the president. You can't incite what was already going to happen.
This trial is about far more than President Trump. It is about silencing and banning the speech the majority does not agree with. It is about canceling 75 million Trump voters. It asks for constitutional cancel culture to take over in the United States Senate.
These depositions should be done in person, in my office, in Philadelphia. That's where they should be done.
Are they laughing at it?
They are. What? What an interesting way to say Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
And he's from there, I think. He has an office there.
Yeah, do you actually have an office?
Right.
Philly.
Have you ever heard of where you're from?
It was rough. No, that was rough. I mean, the thing, the one right off the top, about, they said it was premeditated. So, President Trump couldn't have done it. The point that, House Democrat, the impeachment managers have been making for months is that it wasn't just January 6th, that what President Trump said on January 6th, it was everything up until that point, including the Iowa caucuses when he lost to Ted Cruz and said that it was stolen, right? He's been doing this for years.
Right.
And so there was at no point did the House impeachment managers say anything about just January 6th being the point. It was about all of it at any point. And as Republicans kind of either signed off on that, after the election or started parroting those same exact things. So it was that part of it never made a whole bunch of sense.
No. But then again, I do feel like they could have just had a seal barking at a diagram for 7 hours as a defense. And as long as it was wearing a pinstripe suit.
Got to be pinstripe.
They would have voted to acquit.
Yeah.
That'd be it. It was it made some good points in between eating the fish and just going over and hugging Mitch McConnell because it saw its own kind.
Did you see how long it bounced the ball on its nose?
Well, Republicans were really hoping, and that's why on Monday it was really bad, right? Bruce Castor, he was kind of the first one that went up there, and he talked for 40 minutes, and it made zero sense.
It was wild.
No one thought it made any sense. And so, when you're reporting, you're watching these things, you're like, wait, am I dumb? What is happening on screen? And so like none of that made sense. We were getting text messages from Republicans who were like, oh, we're screwed, because they were really hoping and depending on the defense to give them cover, right? They knew how they wanted to vote, and they just needed like a good argument. And so after Monday, they kind of got it together a little bit more, whether you agree with what they came out with. And so Republican senators were coming out. They were like, the prosecution was destroyed today. And that after when they said premeditated, right? So like there were all these moments where they were like, finally, I get that cover that I've been looking for.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because you kind of feel like, of the 43 Republican senators who voted to acquit, that each one of them had their own special reason. For some of them, it was that, it's unconstitutional to even impeach a former president, as they voted, initially in the first vote that was ultimately they lost. Or it was, it's the First Amendment. Or it was like, it didn't really matter. They just needed a better buffet of cover and alibis for why they were going to vote the way they were. But that's interesting that even then they felt like that the first day wasn't enough. When the second day was just like fight montages and like BLM demonstrator, so what?
They needed a pretense, it seems like. They needed a pretense of a defense. They actually couldn't just have the barking seal eating fish. That's what it seemed like to me.
And the thing that was really kind of striking, because if you're a crazy person like me and watched the whole week, every hour, the House impeachment managers, the videos they showed, right, very emotional. They showed us things we hadn't seen before, like Mitt Romney being this close to that mob. The same thing with Chuck Schumer. You see Chuck Schumer having to run, which I never thought I'd have to see Chuck Schumer like running away. He's like running away from the mob. And so it's like emotional. People were shaken because these were not only the judge and the jury, but also witnesses and victims who were there on January 6th. And then you have this video montage of the word fight, as if anyone was saying just saying the word fight was the problem. Like that was never an argument.
Hey, thanks so much for watching the Bitchuation Room podcast live stream. And while you're here, why don't you just subscribe to this channel? I promise it'll be good.